chosen one. Pause for a moment. Stop whatever you're doing and breathe, because you are not hearing this by accident. This moment was scheduled in heaven before you ever pressed play. Chosen one. Divine timing has converged, and heaven is speaking directly to you now. You may have wondered why the waiting felt so heavy, why the delay stretched longer than you expected, why the pressure intensified instead of lifting. But hear this clearly, anointed one. You were not being denied, you were being prepared. Every closed door, every financial strain, every silent season was divine training, not divine punishment. As it is written in Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3, the vision awaits its appointed time. It will surely come, it will not delay. Chosen. 1. You are standing at the edge of a supernatural breakthrough. What is approaching your life is not gradual, it is sudden. Not ordinary, it is heaven sent. Elevation is aligning, resources are shifting, destiny is accelerating. Wealth is not a distraction from your calling, it is your calling. Money is not your temptation, it is your mantle. Breakthrough is not a hope, it is your inheritance. Anointed one, heaven has been aligning people, systems, and opportunities behind the scenes. What God opens now, no one can shut. What God releases now, no voice can cancel. Your waiting season is ending, and your appointed season is beginning. Chosen one, this is the moment. Stay with me. Something is coming to shift everything. Chosen one. Pause for a moment and let your spirit become still enough to hear what heaven has been trying to whisper to you. Identity is not discovered in the noise of the world, but in the quiet moments where your soul finally stops running and begins remembering. You were never meant to blend in, never meant to shrink, never meant to carry labels handed to you by people who could not see the fullness of who you are. From the beginning, before your first breath, there was a divine marking on your life, a spiritual fingerprint that set you apart, not because you were better, but because you were called. And now that identity, the one heaven authored, is rising again with a strength you can no longer ignore. Everything in you is shifting because everything about you has always been different. There were seasons where you questioned why you didn't fit into circles that welcomed others easily. You wondered why your spirit rejected environments that seemed comfortable for everyone else. You tried to force connections that had no spiritual permission. You tried to dim your light so no one would be intimidated by your depth. But identity cannot be muted when heaven has already spoken. Chosen one. The reason you never blended in is because you were never designed to. You carry a spiritual frequency that exposes what is false and awakens what is asleep. People may not have understood you, but heaven has always recognized you. You were seen long before you were known, chosen long before you were celebrated. There have been moments in your life when you felt overlooked, unseen, or dismissed. But what you interpreted as rejection was often divine protection. You were not being excluded, you were being preserved. God hid you from rooms that could not honor you, from people who would have mishandled you, from paths that would have drained your purpose before it matured. Hidden seasons are not punishment, they are preparation. And you endured a long season of being hidden, not because you lacked purpose, but because your purpose was too important to rush. Heaven never reveals a masterpiece while the paint is still wet. Chosen. One identity awakening often begins with discomfort. Something in you gets tired of pretending. You stop apologizing for your sensitivity, your intuition, your wisdom, your standards, your depth, your calling. You begin to realize that the traits people misunderstood were actually spiritual gifts. The empathy you carried so heavily was discernment in disguise. The solitude you were pushed into was sanctification. The questions that burned inside you were invitations to seek deeper truth. And every time life tried to pull you into a smaller version of yourself, something in your spirit resisted. That resistance was not stubbornness, it was awareness. You were awakening even before you knew the word for it. There is a reason you've always felt things more intensely than others. A reason your heart breaks for people no one else notices. A reason you see patterns others overlook. A reason you sense shifts before they happen. These are not coincidences. They are qualities of someone spiritually appointed. You are not simply intuitive, you are spiritually attuned. You are not simply emotional, you are spiritually sensitive. The world tried to make you believe your depth was a weakness, but heaven built it as your compass. Your identity was formed with layers of insight, compassion, and perception because your calling requires it. Chosen. One part of awakening is recognizing that the storms you survived did not define you, they refined you. You walked through valleys that should have shattered you, yet you emerged wiser. You endured betrayals that should have hardened you, yet your heart remained open. You faced losses that should have silenced your voice, yet you speak with more clarity than ever. Survival is not your identity. Strength is. And heaven has been using every valley to reveal the diamond buried within you. Your identity is not shaped by what you went through. It is revealed by how you rose from it. There were moments you questioned your value because others failed to honor it. You wondered if you were too much, too intense, too wise, too emotional, too spiritual. But chosen ones are always too much for those who are not enough for their calling. You were never too much. You were the precise measure heaven intended. Your presence awakens people. Your words activate people. Your energy shifts atmospheres. It is impossible for you to be ordinary when your spirit was crafted for purpose. Chosen. One identity awakening also brings clarity about what you are not. You are not defined by your past mistakes. You are not trapped by generational patterns. You're not limited by the environment you grew up in. You're not bound to the labels others placed on you in their ignorance. You're not the failures you survived or the wounds you carry. You're not the titles this world uses to categorize people. You belong to a higher identity, one heaven sealed before time. And as this identity awakens, you begin to sense a holy confidence rising. Not arrogance, certainty. A confidence rooted in knowing who created you and why you were set apart. You stop explaining yourself to people who were never meant to understand your spirit. You stop shrinking to make others comfortable. You stop negotiating your worth. You stand not because life has been easy, but because God has been faithful. You rise not because you feel ready, but because your spirit knows it is time. Chosen one identity is no longer sleeping inside you. It is awakening, roaring, rising, and what comes next will require the fullness of who you truly are. Chosen one. As you continue walking into the revelation of your waiting season, let your spirit settle into this truth. Nothing about your delay was accidental. Heaven has been far more involved in your timeline than you ever realized. There were moments when you felt as if life had paused around you, when prayers felt suspended in the air without response, when progress felt locked behind invisible walls. But what looked like stagnation in the natural was actually synchronization in the spiritual. The waiting was never a punishment. It was positioning. I remember seasons in my own journey where God's silence felt overwhelming, where the quiet stretched longer than my strength. Yet now I see that heaven was rearranging things on my behalf, aligning what I could not see protecting what I did not understand. Chosen one. Your waiting season has been one of the greatest demonstrations of heaven's love for you, a shield that guarded you from premature connections, misaligned opportunities, and counterfeits disguised as blessings. The waiting kept you from rooms you were not meant to enter and from people who could not carry your calling. What felt like being held back was actually God holding you together. Chosen one. You learned more in the silence than you ever could have learned in constant movement. The quiet forced you to hear your own soul, to witness your own patterns, to confront your own wounds. It taught you what desire alone could not teach, and what speed could never reveal. You were being refined, not restrained. Even the loneliness had purpose. The ache made you attentive. The stillness made you sensitive. The emptiness made you available for what heaven intended to pour in later. Sometimes God withdraws noise so you can hear truth. Sometimes He closes doors so you can stop chasing what was never meant to be yours. Sometimes He isolates you not to break you, but to build you without interference. You grew in ways you did not notice because the growth was internal, foundational, spiritual. You became someone with deeper roots, steadier faith, sharper discernment. Only heaven could see how strong you were becoming while you thought nothing was happening at all. Chosen one. The waiting season has a way of revealing what is real. It showed you who stood with you when the blessings weren't visible. It exposed relationships that were built on convenience rather than covenant. It highlighted the difference between those who clapped for you and those who covered you. Waiting strips away the superficial and reveals what is substantial. And through it all, God was teaching you the sacred art of recognizing alignment. You learned to trust peace over pressure, purpose over impulse, direction over distraction. You learn to move at God's rhythm rather than the world's pace. Waiting seasons teach you not only how to hold a blessing, but how to protect one. They train your heart to identify the counterfeit by becoming familiar with the authentic. You may not have realized it, but heaven was preparing you to discern the difference between those who were drawn to your calling and those who were drawn to your glow. Chosen one. There were days when the waiting felt like warfare, when your mind battled doubt, when your heart battled fear, when your spirit battled weariness. But that battle sharpened you. It made you spiritually alert. It taught you how to fight with faith rather than frustration. It trained you to pray from a place of purpose rather than panic. Waiting seasons often reveal the version of you heaven intended, all along the version that refuses to fold under pressure, the version that can stand firm without applause, the version that walks by revelation rather than validation. You may have felt tired, but heaven saw you becoming unshakable. You may have felt overlooked, but heaven saw you being crowned in hidden places. You may have felt behind, but heaven saw you being aligned with perfect timing. Chosen one. What you call delay, heaven calls development. Look again at the parts of your story you once criticized. Look again at the years you thought were wasted. Look again at the prayers you thought went unanswered. God was answering you with wisdom, not speed. He was shaping you with intention, not neglect. The waiting season reveals divine love differently. It shows that God cares too much about your destiny to let you walk into something unprepared. The waiting season reveals divine precision. It proves that heaven will never release what you are not yet equipped to sustain. The waiting season reveals divine protection. It keeps your heart safe until the right moment, the right opportunity, the right connection arrives, fully prepared for your life. Chosen one. You have not been wandering, you have been woven. Every detour has been direction. Every pause has been preparation. Every setback has been set up. Heaven has been aligning your footsteps the way a master craftsman aligns every thread in a tapestry. When you step back and see the full picture, you will understand why the process required time. But even now, before the full unveiling, your spirit can sense something shifting. You can feel that the stillness is ending. You can feel that the weight is lifting. You can feel that the season is turning. Waiting seasons do not last forever. They last until the assignment within them is complete and chosen one. Something inside you is signaling that the assignment of waiting is nearly fulfilled. Chosen one. What comes after this will awaken a deeper revelation within you. Chosen one. As you step into this next unfolding, let your spirit recognize the quiet confirmation rising within you. There is a knowing you cannot fully articulate, a stirring that does not originate from emotion or imagination, but from alignment. Something in you has started paying attention differently. Your senses sharpened your awareness, heightened your inner atmosphere, shifting without external explanation. This is not coincidence. This is internal confirmation, the subtle but unmistakable signal that heaven releases when a divine turning point is near. You've likely felt it in small moments, a sudden peace replacing anxiety, a nudging that interrupts old patterns, a clarity that wasn't there before. You may not have words for it, but your spirit recognizes it. I've walked through seasons where my mind could not understand what my spirit already knew, where logic still argued, but my heart had already received the revelation. And every time that inner stirring proved to be heaven whispering, "Prepare, something is coming." Chosen one, you are in that moment now. The quiet confirmation beating within you is proof that what you've been waiting for is already drawing near. Chosen one, have you noticed how your desires have shifted recently? How things that once felt important no longer carry the same weight? How people or environments that once distracted you no longer have access to your attention? This is not emotional detachment, it is spiritual refinement. Heaven is clearing the noise so you can hear the inner guidance with precision. Your soul has begun rejecting what no longer aligns with where you are going. That's why old temptations feel dull. That's why familiar cycles feel foreign. That's why certain conversations drain you faster and certain environments feel tighter. You are outgrowing what your spirit has outlived. This inner transformation is the evidence of divine preparation. You're not losing interest, you're gaining discernment. You're not becoming distant, you're becoming aligned. The discomfort you feel toward old versions of yourself is a sign that heaven has initiated an upgrade. You cannot return to who you were because your spirit is already stepping into who you are becoming. Chosen one. Internal confirmation often arrives as an unexplainable peace that contradicts your circumstances, peace that silences your fear, peace that appears without a visible reason. This is the peace that Scripture describes as surpassing understanding. You may wake up one morning and feel lighter, even though nothing outward has changed. You may feel expectant, even though you can't point to anything specific. You may feel steady, even in areas where you once felt insecure. This is not denial. This is divine assurance. Heaven never waits for conditions to be perfect before announcing transformation. It places peace inside you so you can recognize what is approaching before it arrives. I've learned that when God is about to shift something, peace comes first, clarity second, manifestation third. Your spirit is sensing what your eyes cannot yet see. That inner calm is heaven's signature. Chosen. One confirmation also reveals itself through holy discontent, a gentle but persistent knowing that where you are is no longer where you're meant to remain. It's not frustration, it's transition. It's the sense that there is more, the feeling that something greater is calling your name. You may feel restless, but it's not the restlessness of fear. It's the restlessness of destiny rising. Heaven stirs this holy discontent when it is time to prepare you for open doors you once felt unworthy to walk through. Pay attention to the areas where you feel done, the spaces where your spirit is no longer settling for survival, but craving significance. This is God loosening your attachment to what you've outgrown, so He can guide you into the new with readiness rather than reluctance. You are not breaking down, you are breaking open. Chosen one. Have you noticed the increase in your spiritual sensitivity? You may find yourself discerning motives faster, picking up on atmospheres quicker, noticing divine patterns more clearly. You may hear God's whispers more distinctly or feel His nudges more frequently. You may catch glimpses of meaning in small signs, recurring numbers, repeated themes, or specific phrases that echo in unusual moments. This is not overthinking. This is awakening. Heaven sharpens your sensitivity when alignment is near. It trains you to notice what others overlook, to interpret what others ignore, to perceive what others dismiss. This internal awakening is preparing you to recognize divine opportunities when they appear not by sight, but by spirit. You will know what is meant for you, not because it looks good, but because it resonates with what God has been developing within you. Chosen one. Internal confirmation is also found in the way your spirit responds to prophetic truth. Messages reach you differently now. Words pierce deeper. Revelation lands with more weight. Your heart absorbs what used to bounce off your mind. When heaven is preparing you for a shift, your spirit becomes magnetic to truth and allergic to anything counterfeit. You begin recognizing alignment not by logic, but by resonance. That tug in your chest, that expansion in your heart, that spark of hope you cannot explain. These are signs that your spirit is identifying what was written for you. When a word is yours, it doesn't just inspire you. It awakens you. It doesn't just encourage you, it activates you. You are experiencing that activation now. Your spirit is not reacting emotionally, it is responding prophetically. Chosen one, internal confirmation often appears in the collapse of things that once held your identity. You no longer need validation from those who could not see your worth. You no longer chase connections that drain your energy. You no longer apologize for your calling, your sensitivity, or your depth. This is not arrogance, it is alignment with truth. God has been separating you from false identities so He can reveal the purity of who you truly are. Every layer that has fallen off was necessary. Every shift in your relationships was intentional. Every boundary you've recently embraced was divinely inspired. Your spirit is reclaiming itself, shedding what life forced upon you, and returning to the identity heaven placed within you. Chosen one, listen closely. The confirmation inside you is not random. It is the signal that heaven sends when divine timing draws near. You feel different because you are different. You see differently because you've been transformed. Something in you is standing at attention, responding to heaven's subtle announcement that something is about to align in a way you've never seen before. Chosen one, what your spirit senses next will deepen this awakening in ways you cannot yet imagine. As you step deeper into this unfolding journey, you must understand that divine timing is never late, never rushed, and never unsure. It is the most precise force in existence woven into the very fabric of your destiny. Everything you have walked through, every pause, every acceleration, every detour that felt like disappointment, has been part of a heavenly schedule more exact than any human clock. This is why certain doors would not open for you, no matter how much you knocked. This is why certain people drifted away even when you tried to hold on. This is why opportunities you thought were perfect dissolved just when you felt ready. Divine timing was not denying you, it was protecting you from arriving into places prematurely. Heaven will never send you into a room you are not yet calibrated to govern. And as I reflect on my own path, I remember seasons where I begged for open doors, not realizing the foundation beneath my feet was still forming. Only later could I see the mercy hidden within the delay. Chosen one. You are standing in that same mercy now, even if it feels like stillness. There is a sacred rhythm to God's timing, and your spirit is beginning to sync with it. You may notice that certain things are suddenly accelerating while others remain still. This is not inconsistency, it is orchestration. When heaven aligns your season, it does so like the turning of a great wheel, quietly at first, then unmistakably. You might feel a shift in your desires, a new urgency to prepare, or a restlessness that nudges you toward change. These sensations are not emotional turbulence. They are prophetic indicators that time is moving. You are being repositioned without force, guided without struggle. Heaven never shoves, it summons. And something in you has begun answering that summons. You feel it in the way your conversations are changing. You feel it in the way your spirit no longer tolerates what once entertained you. You feel it in the way your faith has grown more focused, less frantic. This is the mark of divine timing at work within you. Chosen. One divine timing does not simply align events, it aligns you. It shapes your character so that when the promise arrives, you can sustain it without sabotage. This is why God often works in silent seasons, strengthening the unseen parts of you. Perhaps you have wondered why your prayers felt unanswered, or why heaven seemed quiet, even when your heart was loud. But divine timing is most active in silence. The seed grows underground before it breaks the soil. The caterpillar transforms in a concealed cocoon before it can fly. And you, beloved, have been undergoing your own hidden transformation. Divine timing has been stretching your patience, deepening your wisdom, refining your discernment, and maturing your spirit, so that you will not mishandle what you have been called to carry. Timing is not just about the right moment, it is about the right you. Chosen one. Divine timing also reveals itself in the patterns you begin to notice. You might sense repeated themes in your dreams, persistent numbers, recurring prophetic messages, or sudden clarity about things that once confused you. Heaven speaks in patterns because patterns create recognition, and recognition is essential when God opens the door meant for you. You won't hesitate. You won't fear, you won't second guess, you will know. This is why heaven has been training your spiritual sensitivity, teaching you to discern the difference between impulse and instruction. When the appointed time arrives, you will not be misled by distractions disguised as opportunities. Your spirit will gravitate toward what was always meant for you. Divine timing is also why certain connections ended. Not because they were harmful, but because they were seasonal. Some people were assigned to your past, not your future. They carried lessons, but not longevity. Had they stayed longer, you would have settled smaller. God will never allow attachments to interfere with your alignment. As painful as it was, heaven removed what could not accompany you into your next chapter. That heartbreak was not abandonment, it was advancement. And even now, you may feel a strange peace around those endings. That peace is divine timing releasing you forward without residue. Your heart is lighter because heaven untied what your hands could not. Chosen one. Divine timing becomes clearest in hindsight, but its confirmation comes in foresight. There is a moment, often subtle, where your spirit simply knows something is changing. You may not have the details, but the awareness is undeniable. You begin to sense acceleration even before anything observable shifts. This is because your spirit detects divine timing before your life displays it. And right now, something within you is recognizing the nearness of fulfillment. You cannot explain it, but you cannot ignore it. The atmosphere around your life feels charged the way the air feels before rain. Not chaotic, anticipatory. Heaven is aligning circumstances that have been dormant. People you have not yet met are being prepared. Opportunities you have not yet seen are being constructed. Timelines you thought were delayed are catching up to you. Divine timing is bringing completion to what you once feared would remain unfinished. Chosen one, let go of the idea that you are behind. You cannot be behind when you walk in divine timing. You are arriving exactly when heaven intends, not a moment too early or too late. The enemy uses comparison to convince you that you've missed your moment. But God rewrites seasons for those he calls. What others accomplish early, you may accomplish effectively. What others reach quickly, you will reach purposefully. Divine timing does not rush destiny, and it does not waste destiny. Everything is unfolding in exact accordance with the blueprint heaven authored about you before you were born. As the prophet wrote in Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3, "Though it delays, wait for it. It will surely come. The delay is never denial. It is preparation." Chosen one, divine timing is not approaching, it is active. Something in your atmosphere is responding to heaven's scheduling. Something in your spirit is awakening because heaven has declared now. You may not yet see the manifestation, but the timing has shifted, and once timing shifts, destiny follows. Chosen one. What divine timing unlocks next will move you in ways you are only beginning to perceive. Chosen one. Purpose has always lived inside you, even in the seasons where you felt directionless or overlooked. Purpose is not something you chase. It is something you awaken to. And right now, heaven is stirring the deepest layers of your calling, pulling you into an awareness you cannot ignore. You may not fully see it yet, but your spirit recognizes the shift. There is a weight to your life, a significance to your presence, a divine marking upon your steps that cannot be erased by circumstance or silenced by delay. Purpose is not born when things become clear. Purpose is born in the dark, in the questions, in the quiet obedience that no one celebrates, but heaven records. And chosen one, heaven has recorded more about you than you realize. Every hardship has carved something holy in you. Every closed door has strengthened your discernment. Every betrayal has sharpened your vision. Every waiting season has deepened your wisdom. Purpose is not crafted in convenience. It is forged in fire, and you have walked through more fire than you speak about. Yet here you stand, not burned, but refined. Not diminished, but distilled. Not broken, but built. What you survived did not steal your calling. It clarified it. Purpose thrives not in perfection, but in perseverance, and you have persevered through seasons that would have shattered others. That alone is evidence that you are called to more than an ordinary path. Chosen. One purpose has been pursuing you quietly. Look back with honest eyes. There were moments you tried to settle, but something in you resisted. You tried to shrink, but something in you pushed forward. You tried to blend in, but heaven kept pulling you out. That was purpose interrupting your plans. That was calling refusing to let you live beneath your assignment. You are not here to simply exist. You are here to execute. You were not created to drift. You were created to drive the mission God placed within you long before you took your first breath. And that mission is awakening now because the timing for it has matured. There is something unique about your calling, something that sets you apart from those around you. While others seek comfort, you seek clarity. While others chase applause, you crave alignment. While others pursue recognition, you long for revelation. These desires are not random. They are the internal language of destiny. They are signs that you were chosen not for shallow influence, but for spiritual impact. Your calling carries weight because your life carries assignment. Anointing rests on you because responsibility rests on you. And though you may question your readiness, purpose does not ask if you feel prepared. Purpose asks if you are willing. Chosen. One purpose is not quiet anymore. It is rising in your spirit, like a holy pressure urging you to step out of old patterns and into new levels of alignment. You may feel a stirring to change your environment, your habits, your associations, or even your mindset. You may feel less tolerant of mediocrity, distraction, or superficial living. This is not mood or emotion, it is divine elevation. It is purpose preparing you for platforms you have not yet seen. It is God shaping you for responsibilities that require spiritual maturity and emotional groundedness. When heaven expands your calling, it first expands your capacity. Your purpose is not just personal, it is connected to people you have not met, yet communities you will influence, atmospheres you will shift, and lives you will touch. There is someone waiting on the other side of your obedience. Someone's breakthrough is tied to your yes. Someone's healing is tied to your testimony. Someone's faith is tied to your courage. You are not just stepping into purpose, you are stepping into impact. And heaven takes that seriously. Chosen one, part of your calling is spiritual, but part of it is deeply practical. God is preparing you to build, to lead, to create, to steward, and to govern. There is kingdom work assigned to your name. There are ideas heaven has placed in your imagination that will become solutions for others. There are gifts within you that will generate influence, resources, and opportunities when activated. Purpose is not passive, it is productive. The anointing on your life is not only emotional, it is entrepreneurial, strategic, and expansive. You carry a calling that touches both heaven and earth. And perhaps you have wondered why you feel the tension between who you were and who you are becoming. That tension is not confusion, it is transformation. You cannot walk in a new calling with old patterns. You cannot carry new oil in old wineskins. Purpose requires pruning, calling requires clarity, destiny requires discipline, and heaven has been developing all three within you. The changes you feel internally are shaping you for the magnitude of what is externally approaching. Chosen one. Your purpose is awakening, and with it comes responsibility, but also reward. When you walk in what God created you to do, there is a grace that meets you, a favor that surrounds you, and a strength that sustains you. You are not stepping into this alone. Purpose is not a burden. It is a blueprint, and heaven is guiding your steps with a precision that will become undeniable in the days ahead. Chosen one, what this purpose reveals next will shift the way you see everything. Chosen one, there is a mantle on your life that has been waiting for the appointed hour to awaken, the mantle of divine provision, supernatural stewardship, and heaven-backed increase. This is not ordinary abundance, and not the kind the world chases through striving, exhaustion, or competition. This is the wealth mantle God places on those He trusts to carry resources with purity, wisdom, and purpose. It is the kind of financial anointing that does not inflate ego, but expands impact. It does not encourage greed, it empowers generosity. It does not draw you into worldly systems, it elevates you above them. And chosen one. Whether you have seen it yet or not, this mantle has hovered over your life for years, waiting for alignment, waiting for maturity, waiting for obedience. Now heaven is breathing on it again, because you are entering a season where financial grace will begin to function differently through you. For so long, you have wondered why money felt delayed, why opportunities slipped through your fingers, why resources never seemed to match the size of your vision. But delays in provision were not denials of destiny. They were protections. God will never place increase in unprepared hands. He will never release abundance into a heart still healing from wounds that poverty once created. He will never pour oil into a vessel that still believes wealth is wicked or success is suspicious. Your waiting season around finances was not punishment. It was purification. Heaven was removing fear, scarcity survival patterns, and old narratives that could not coexist with kingdom-level abundance. Because chosen ones are not called to chase money, chosen ones are called to command it. Chosen one, the financial mantle on your life is not random. Look back at your journey and you will see the signs. You have always carried ideas bigger than your circumstances. You have always felt the weight of responsibility beyond your current resources. You have always had dreams that required faith, not just effort. And deep down, you've always sensed that you were meant to build something: businesses, ministries, structures, systems, legacies that outlive you. People with small callings never think that way. Only those marked for kingdom finance feel that kind of pull. Only those chosen for stewardship feel that kind of holy pressure. Your desire for abundance was never greed, it was prophecy. And your battles with lack were never signs that money was not for you. They were signs that money was meant to be transformed through you. Chosen one. The enemy attacks where God intends to elevate. The area where you face the most warfare is often the area where you carry the greatest authority. And if finances have been your battlefield, it is because wealth is your mantle. But understand this: wealth in the kingdom is not accumulated, it is assigned. It is not earned by anxious striving, it is released through alignment. God elevates those He can trust, and He trusts those who have allowed Him to purify their motives, sharpen their discernment, and anchor their identity in something deeper than material validation. Many times you felt frustration because you knew you were capable of more, ready for more, hungry for more. Yet heaven seemed to hold you back. That restraint was mercy. God was enlarging your capacity so you would not lose yourself when increase arrives. He was strengthening your character so the blessing would not become a burden. He was stretching your faith so you would be governed by obedience, not opportunity. And now, as your spirit rises into a new level of maturity, the financial mantle begins to rest more firmly upon your life. Chosen one. The awakening of this mantle may show itself in unusual ways. You may feel fresh creativity in areas that once felt blocked. You may receive sudden clarity about ideas you left dormant. Strategies may begin to flow effortlessly. Opportunities may appear that look small, but carry divine instruction. You may even feel a holy dissatisfaction with your current level, not from comparison, but from calling. This is how God prepares chosen ones to step into financial territory they previously felt unworthy to enter. He triggers movement in the spirit before manifestation in the natural. And hear this in your spirit: you are not stepping into wealth for comfort, you are stepping into wealth for calling. You are being positioned not as a collector, but as a conductor, not as a consumer, but as a channel. Kingdom wealth flows through chosen vessels who understand that increase is not the goal, impact is. You will carry resources differently because you see money as mission. You see prosperity as partnership with heaven. You see your hands as instruments for God's distribution. And heaven can trust someone whose heart beats like that. Chosen one. Part of this financial mantle also includes the wisdom to handle increase with integrity. You will begin to sense a shift in your decisions, in your conversations, in your boundaries, in your priorities. You will no longer tolerate environments that drain your vision. You will no longer engage in habits that sabotage your progress. You will no longer remain in connections that keep you small. A wealthy mind must emerge before a wealthy life can be sustained. And heaven is renewing your mind, even now, gently, firmly, unmistakably. There will also be moments where God introduces you to people whose presence unlocks doors you could not open alone. Not because you need rescuing, but because kingdom wealth is relational. Certain opportunities are tied to divine connections. Certain assignments are tied to aligned partnerships. Certain levels are tied to those who walk in similar anointing, and heaven is preparing you for that kind of company. Chosen one, a financial mantle is not just something you receive, it is something you grow into. And you are growing, stretching, shifting, aligning in ways that reveal heaven's intention for your future. You are not stepping into ordinary provision, you are stepping into supernatural supply. You are not entering a season of survival, you are entering a season of stewardship. You are not being positioned for enough, you are being positioned for overflow. Chosen one. What this rising mantle begins to unlock will reshape your understanding of abundance. Chosen one. The signs of your approaching breakthrough have already begun to surface, even if they appear subtle at first glance. Heaven rarely announces a shift with noise. It whispers through patterns, stirrings, small rearrangements, and inner awakenings. What feels like restlessness is often the first signal. What feels like sudden clarity after confusion is another. When God is preparing to elevate you, your spirit becomes unusually alert, as though something within you knows a door is forming even before it swings open. You may feel drawn to places you've never been, decisions you never considered, or desires that seem to appear out of nowhere. These are not coincidences. These are spiritual indicators that something is approaching you, something appointed, something aligned. Your breakthrough does not begin when it becomes visible. It begins when it becomes undeniable inside you. Often the first sign of breakthrough is separation. You may notice people drifting conversations, changing relationships you once relied on feeling distant. Do not misinterpret this. Heaven removes noise before releasing instruction. It clears the environment before delivering the blessing. Breakthrough requires space, and God will make room for what He is sending, even if it means shifting your connections. Sometimes He separates you from what you thought you needed, so He can surround you with what your purpose actually demands. If certain people are leaving, it is not rejection, it is refinement. You are being positioned for encounters and alliances that carry the weight of your next level. Another sign is the sudden end of cycles that once seemed unbreakable. Patterns you battled for years may begin losing their grip. Habits you struggled to overcome suddenly feel easier to release. Emotional wounds that once pierced deeply begin to heal with unusual speed. These shifts feel small on the surface, but spiritually they are massive. You are being untangled from the old because you cannot step into breakthrough carrying chains that belong to earlier chapters. When heaven ushers in a new season, it unravels everything that cannot enter with you. This is deliverance disguised as disruption. Chosen one, your discernment may also sharpen during this time. You begin seeing through illusions that once deceived you. You become sensitive to motives, alert to spiritual atmospheres, aware of conversations that carry either alignment or distraction. This clarity is not accidental, it is preparation. Breakthrough requires a guarded spirit. Heaven is fine-tuning your instincts so you can recognize what is for you and what is sent to delay you. You may even find yourself losing tolerance for things that used to entertain you, not because you are becoming hardened, but because you are becoming holy. Breakthrough shifts appetites, and your spirit is adjusting accordingly. Another powerful sign is divine interruption. Plans you made may be unexpectedly altered. Schedules may shift. Opportunities may appear abruptly or close without warning. These movements may feel inconvenient, but they are part of divine choreography. When heaven changes your steps, it is because heaven sees a path your natural eyes cannot perceive. Sometimes God disrupts your timing so he can align you with his. Sometimes he closes a door to redirect you toward one you didn't even know existed. Breakthrough rarely follows the route you expect, but it always leads to the destination you were designed for. You may also notice an increase in spiritual activity dreams that feel unusually vivid insights, that feel unusually precise moments of quiet, where you sense God speaking without words. This heightened sensitivity is not imagination. Your spirit is being tuned to heaven's frequency because breakthrough requires recognition. God does not want you to stumble into your blessing unaware. He wants you to walk into it with discernment and authority. When dreams intensify, it is often a sign that heaven is sending previews of what's coming. When intuition grows stronger, it is a sign you are nearing a threshold. Provision may begin to move in unexpected ways as well. Small opportunities may open that suddenly multiply. Someone may bless you without reason. A financial door you thought was closed may reappear. Resources may come from unfamiliar places. This is not luck, it is alignment. Before a major breakthrough, heaven often releases a taste of the abundance to come. These early provisions are confirmations that the larger release is near. They are reminders that God has not forgotten your needs, your prayers, or your waiting. Chosen. One another undeniable sign of breakthrough is inner peace, an anchored calm that makes no sense based on your circumstances. Peace is the spiritual signature of God's movement. Even when situations remain unchanged, something in you knows they are about to shift. Fear begins to lose its influence. Anxiety begins to loosen. You stop striving and start trusting. This is a supernatural peace that signals heaven's nearness. When breakthrough is close, your soul stops fighting battles it has already won in the spirit. You may also feel an increase in spiritual warfare. Do not be discouraged by this. The enemy always fights hardest, closest to the door. Resistance is often proof of proximity. When darkness senses movement, it attempts to intimidate, distract, or discourage you. But these attacks cannot stop what heaven has initiated. Their only purpose is to make you question what you already know. Do not question it. Opposition is not a sign to retreat. It is a sign to stand firm. Breakthrough is on the other side of pressure. And finally, one of the strongest signs is acceleration. Things that once took months begin to happen in days. Connections that once felt impossible suddenly materialize. Delays collapse. Obstacles dissolve. Heaven compresses time. When breakthrough reaches maturity, what was slow becomes swift. What was heavy becomes light. What was distant becomes near. Time bends to divine will. Chosen one. The signs around you are gathering, and what they are pointing toward is closer than you realize. Chosen one. Supernatural alignment begins long before the blessing arrives. It starts as a quiet rearranging of the unseen, a divine synchronization of circumstances, people, timing, and spiritual currents that all begin to move toward one appointed outcome. You may not notice it at first, because alignment rarely announces itself in dramatic ways. Instead, it reveals itself through small, consistent shifts that tug your spirit in a new direction. These subtle movements are not random. They are heaven's fingerprints on your timeline. When God aligns your life, He aligns the details you didn't even know needed adjusting. He aligns your steps with opportunities you haven't seen yet. He aligns your heart with wisdom you didn't know you needed. He aligns your environment with growth you didn't know was possible. And in this season, chosen one alignment is becoming the silent architect of your destiny. There are moments right now where you may feel an inexplicable pull toward change. Habits, you suddenly lose desire for conversations. You no longer have energy for environments that no longer nourish your spirit. These shifts aren't mood swings. They're indicators that heaven is repositioning you. Alignment requires separation, refinement, and clarity. As God prepares your steps, He removes anything that interrupts the rhythm of your calling. This is why you may feel disconnected from what was once familiar. What used to feel comfortable is now too small. What used to feel normal now feels misaligned. Heaven grows you quietly so that when the opportunity arrives, you fit the moment without forcing the moment. Chosen one. When supernatural alignment begins, divine relationships start moving toward you even before you meet them. People are being prepared on the other side of your obedience, people whose skills, insight, and purpose will complement your assignment. You've experienced connections falling away, but what you haven't fully seen yet are the connections being drawn toward your life with holy intention. God never removes without replacing. He never prunes without preparing. He never separates without setting up. Every aligned person entering your next chapter carries something significant: encouragement, strategy, discernment, provision, or partnership. Some will come to teach you, some will come to cover you, some will come to build with you. Each one is part of a heavenly configuration that leads you forward. Supernatural alignment often disrupts your plans to protect your path. You may experience sudden redirections, doors that close abruptly, opportunities that dissolve without explanation, or invitations that no longer resonate. These interruptions are not failures, they are course corrections. When God blocks a route, it is because that route diverges from your destiny. True alignment never requires force. It flows, it confirms, it expands. If something feels heavy, pressured, or confusing, it is not aligned. But what is aligned carries peace, even when it stretches you. It carries clarity, even when it challenges you. Alignment may lead you into unfamiliar places, but it will never lead you into chaos. Chosen. One another sign of supernatural alignment is the internal shift happening in your spirit. Your desires begin to change, your prayers become sharper, your expectations rise, your discernment deepens. You start seeing patterns that once went unnoticed. You begin recognizing God in details you once overlooked. This internal awakening is not accidental, it is prophetic. Alignment starts inside before it manifests outside. Heaven aligns your heart so that you can recognize what belongs to you. If your spirit is more sensitive lately, if your awareness has increased, if your prayers feel more focused, it is because heaven is tuning your soul to the frequency of your future. You may also notice alignment in the way old burdens begin to lift. Areas of fear that once dominated you begin to weaken. Wounds that once held you hostage begin to heal. Shame that once silenced you begins to fall away. God is removing internal blockages so your spirit can rise freely. Breakthrough cannot sit on a fractured foundation. Alignment restores what life attempted to distort. God is renewing the parts of you that will carry the next level of your anointing. This restoration is not shallow, it is structural. It touches your identity, your worth, your confidence, and your clarity. Chosen one. When supernatural alignment is active, your steps become ordered, even when you don't realize you're being guided. You might find yourself at the right place at the right time. You might encounter someone who speaks exactly what your spirit needed. You might overhear a message that confirms something you were wrestling with. These moments are not coincidences, they are divine intersections. Heaven sets appointments you didn't schedule. God orchestrates moments you couldn't plan. These alignments are the gentle nudges that move you into the flow of destiny. Alignment also manifests in the sudden acceleration of certain areas of your life. Things that were stagnant begin to move. Prayers that felt unanswered begin to unfold. Delays begin to break. The atmosphere around you shifts, making room for progress that once felt impossible. When heaven aligns, your season time itself begins to respond. What took years suddenly takes moments. What felt blocked suddenly opens. What once felt out of reach suddenly feels ordained. Chosen. One supernatural alignment is a sign that heaven is organizing your next chapter. But it is also a sign that heaven trusts you with what is coming. God aligns what He intends to elevate. And right now, He is aligning you with purpose, with people with timing, and with divine orchestration that has been developing in the background of your life for years. Nothing about this is random. Nothing about this is accidental. Heaven does not align lightly. It aligns with intention, precision, and prophetic accuracy. Chosen one. What this alignment draws toward you next will confirm everything your spirit has been sensing. Chosen one. Divine opportunities rarely arrive wrapped in the form we expect. They do not always announce themselves with loud signs or dramatic moments. Often they emerge quietly through conversations that seem ordinary decisions that feel small, or promptings in your spirit that you could easily overlook. Yet these subtle openings carry the weight of destiny. When heaven is preparing to shift your life, it begins by positioning opportunities along your path that match the maturity of your spirit, not the impatience of your emotions. And right now, opportunities are moving toward you, strategic heaven sent, precisely timed. You may not see them yet, but your spirit has already begun to sense them drawing near. Divine opportunities follow alignment. They appear when your spirit, your surroundings, and your purpose reach a point of agreement. You've spent months, maybe years, adjusting, surrendering, healing, learning, outgrowing, and shedding what no longer fits. These internal shifts were not wasted. They were positioning you for what your hands are now being prepared to receive. Heaven does not release opportunity into confusion. It releases opportunity into clarity. There is a readiness in you now that was not present before: a spiritual strength, a renewed mind, an elevated discernment that allows you to recognize what is of God and what is only a distraction wearing a disguise. Chosen. One, divine opportunities often begin with discomfort, a nudge to move, a sense of dissatisfaction with the familiar, a holy restlessness that makes you realize you can no longer remain where you are. This internal stirring is heaven's way of signaling that doors are forming ahead. If God wants to expand you, He will first unsettle you. If He wants to elevate you, He will push you beyond what once felt safe. Do not fear the restlessness within you. It is the spiritual contraction that precedes birth. Something new is forming, and opportunities are woven into the fabric of this newness. There are people being assigned to you in this season: mentors, partners, encouragers, divine helpers, each holding keys to future opportunities. Some will offer wisdom that unlocks direction. Some will bring clarity where you carried confusion. Some will speak one sentence that shifts your entire understanding of your calling. And some will simply walk beside you, making the heavy things feel lighter. These relationships are not accidents, they are appointments. God aligns opportunities with people because destiny is rarely fulfilled alone. Pay attention to those who enter your life with peace, purpose, and purity of intention. They are carriers of opportunity disguised as companionship. Chosen one, divine opportunities require discernment. Not every open door is your door. Not every invitation aligns with your purpose. The enemy can open doors too, doors that look exciting but lead nowhere, doors that glitter but drain your spirit, doors that elevate your ego but suffocate your calling. But the opportunities God sends carry confirmation. They carry peace, even when they stretch you. They carry clarity, even when they challenge you. They carry momentum, even when they require courage. God's opportunities don't pull you away from who you are. They magnify who you are becoming. One of the greatest signs that divine opportunity is near is the resurgence of old dreams, ideas you once shelved, visions you stopped pursuing, callings you once felt unworthy to carry. Heaven is breathing on these dreams again because the season for them has come. Opportunities will open in areas where you once felt disqualified. Doors will unlock in places where you once felt unseen. What you thought was dead was only dormant. God hid the seed until your spirit was ready to carry the harvest without losing humility. Chosen. One, divine opportunities often appear disguised as responsibility. God will draw you into rooms where your gifts are needed. He will place you in situations where your wisdom becomes valuable. He will position you among people who recognize what others once ignored. Opportunity is not always about elevation. Sometimes it is about assignment. When you step into the spaces God opens, your obedience becomes the bridge to the next level. Never underestimate a small act of faith, for many breakthroughs are hidden in steps that seem insignificant at first. Another sign is acceleration. When heaven begins to open opportunities, time begins to move differently. What once progressed slowly begins to unfold quickly. Emails get answered faster. Conversations progress effortlessly. Delays disappear. Resources appear. Momentum increases. You feel as though something is carrying you rather than you carrying everything alone. This is the supernatural ease that accompanies divine opportunity. God removes obstacles because the time for fulfillment has arrived. Chosen one. Divine opportunities are never forced. They meet you where honor lives. They recognize you because heaven has stamped your name on them. You do not need to chase them, you need to prepare for them. You do not need to manipulate outcomes, you need to stay aligned. Opportunities are already searching for you, because destiny cannot remain dormant once its appointed hour strikes. And perhaps the most sacred sign of all is this: your spirit feels expectant without evidence. You feel a quiet confidence rising. You sense movement even when nothing visible has changed. You feel drawn toward a future your eyes have not seen, but your soul understands. This inner knowing is heaven's announcement that opportunity is near. Chosen one. The opportunities forming ahead are not random. They are prophetic invitations into the life you were always meant to walk. Chosen one. The revelation of wealth transfer is not simply about money moving. It is about heaven rearranging resources, influence, provision, and strategic advantage to align with divine purpose. This kind of transfer does not follow earthly logic. It does not depend on economy, background, or human approval. It flows according to spiritual authority, obedience, and timing. And in this season, heaven is positioning you to receive what was always meant to fund your calling. For years, you have carried vision without matching resources. You have carried purpose without proper provision. You have carried dreams larger than your environment. This tension was not a sign of lack, it was a sign of prophetic preparation. God never gives a great assignment without preparing a great supply. The vision He placed in you always required more than what you could produce alone. That gap between what you have and what you need is precisely where supernatural wealth transfer begins. Chosen one. Wealth transfer is not merely financial. It is the relocation of opportunities, ideas, strategies, and relationships that create increase. It is the shifting of influence from the unfaithful to the faithful, from the careless to the careful, from those who misuse resources to those who steward them with purity and purpose. You are being prepared to handle wealth not as a trophy, but as a tool. Your hands are being strengthened because they will soon carry more than you imagined. Your mind is being renewed because it must be able to hold abundance without fear. Your heart is being purified because wealth must pass through clean motives to produce kingdom impact. Every internal shift you have experienced has been heaven preparing the vessel before filling it. There are moments in history when God transfers resources abruptly. Joseph rising from prison to manage the wealth of Egypt. Esther stepping into royal access, Solomon receiving unprecedented wisdom and prosperity, the early believers sustaining entire communities through supernatural provision. These moments were not random, they were divine reassignments. And you, chosen one, are living in such a moment now. Wealth is leaving the hands of those who used it for vanity and entering the hands of those who will use it for vision. Resources are shifting from the proud to the pure, from the reckless to the righteous, from those who hoard to those who build. Heaven will never allow wealth to remain stagnant when purpose is waiting. Chosen one. The wealth transfer. Approaching your life will not begin with millions, it will begin with movement. You may sense new ideas birthing inside you, business concepts, creative solutions, strategies, innovations, and insights that seem to appear from nowhere. These ideas are not accidental, they are spiritual deposits. Heaven gives ideas before it gives increase, because ideas are seeds of wealth. One God-breathed idea can change your financial trajectory, alter your generational line, and open doors no man could open. Pay attention to the thoughts that keep returning, the desires that won't leave, the visions that persist, even when you try to ignore them. They are signals of financial purpose awakening. Another dimension of wealth transfer is divine access. God will connect you to people who carry keys to knowledge, to contracts, to platforms, to opportunities that accelerate your ascent. These connections are not based on competition, they are based on calling. They will recognize your value before the world does. They will partner with your purpose, not your performance. And you will know these people by the peace that accompanies their presence. God does not elevate you through manipulation. He elevates you through alignment. Chosen one. You may also notice unusual favor beginning to rise in your life. Doors opening effortlessly, approvals coming quickly, ideas gaining traction, resources appearing unexpectedly. This ease is not coincidence, it is spiritual endorsement. Heaven is breathing on your efforts. Wealth transfer is not about striving harder, it is about stepping into a current God has already set in motion. When the anointing for increase is active, what was once difficult becomes smooth. What was once delayed becomes accelerated. What was once blocked becomes available. But hear this, wealth transfer is not given to everyone, it is entrusted. God looks for those who can carry abundance without corruption, who can increase without arrogance, who can prosper without forgetting purpose. And chosen one, your humility in hidden seasons, your obedience in obscurity, your integrity in difficulty, these qualities have prepared you for this moment. You did not compromise to get here. You did not manipulate to survive. You did not abandon God to chase success. And because of that, heaven can trust you with what others mishandled. Chosen one. The financial blessing coming is not random, it is righteous. It is not solely for comfort, it is for calling. You will use what God gives to build, to bless, to break generational cycles, to open doors for others, to create foundations and futures that reflect God's goodness. Wealth will not own you, it will obey you. Money will not be your master, it will be your mantle. And as this transfer unfolds, you will see that everything you lost was making room for everything heaven is about to release. Chosen one. What wealth begins to unlock in this next chapter will exceed the limitations you once believed. Chosen one. Generational purpose is rising within you, even if you have not fully recognized its scale. This next chapter is not just about personal breakthrough or individual elevation. Heaven is positioning you to shift bloodlines, rewrite patterns, and build foundations that will outlive your name. You were not chosen merely to escape what broke your family. You were chosen to end it. You were not anointed simply to rise above cycles. You were anointed to destroy them. Every battle you fought, every wound you healed, every storm you endured has carried generational weight because the victory assigned to you is meant to ripple through those who come after you. This is why your warfare has felt so intense. This is why your path has been so unusual. This is why your calling has always felt heavier than those around you. You were not born to repeat history, you were born to rewrite it. There are blessings heaven has reserved for your lineage, blessings that could not be given to previous generations because the foundation was not ready. But you, chosen one, have been prepared differently. Your sensitivity, your resilience, your hunger for truth, your rejection of generational dysfunction. These qualities are not accidental. They are evidence that God selected you to carry the assignment that others could not. You are the breaker, the builder, the turning point. The mantle of transformation rests on your shoulders because heaven trusts you with influence that extends beyond your lifetime. When Scripture says God keeps covenant to 1,000 generations, it means every act of obedience you make becomes a seed that multiplies long after you are gone. Chosen. One generational purpose is not quiet. You can feel it even when you don't have the language for it. You sense a calling toward higher standards, deeper integrity, and purer motives. You feel compelled to live differently, pray differently, think differently. You are drawn to wisdom your peers overlook. You refuse to settle for emotional shortcuts or spiritual complacency. This is generational alignment at work. Heaven is elevating your mindset, so your lineage will inherit strength instead of struggle, clarity instead of confusion, purpose instead of pain. The inner shifts you are experiencing now are not just for you, they are for every child, grandchild, and descendant connected to your bloodline spiritually or naturally. There are moments where you may feel isolated, misunderstood, or set apart, not because you lack belonging, but because you carry responsibility. Breakers rarely blend in, builders rarely follow the crowd. Pioneers rarely walk familiar paths. Your difference is not a flaw, it is your function. Generational callings require individuals who are willing to stand alone long enough to establish a new standard. And that is what you have been doing, even without realizing it. You have been breaking cycles quietly. You have been dismantling patterns by choosing differently. You have been healing wounds your ancestors carried silently. Heaven sees it all, and heaven honors it. Chosen one. Generational purpose also requires that your heart be anchored in identity, not in security. This is why God has been healing your inner world so thoroughly. A fractured identity cannot sustain a generational assignment. A wounded heart cannot build a legacy rooted in love, abundance, and peace. You had to learn who you are, so those who come after you won't have to seek validation in broken places. You had to confront lies so they wouldn't become truth for those who follow. You had to grow through pain so future generations could grow through strength. What felt like personal healing was actually generational restoration. There is also a financial dimension to generational purpose. Wealth that enters your life is not meant to disappear with you. It is meant to flow through you. You are being positioned to steward resources in a way that establishes stability, opportunity, and inheritance. The world teaches consumption. Heaven teaches continuation. What God gives you is not only provision, it is preparation. You will invest with insight, build with intention, and leave behind structures that make prosperity possible for those who carry your name. This is why the wealth mantle you received was accompanied by discipline, humility, and wisdom. God does not entrust legacy-level abundance to those who think only of themselves. Chosen. One another expression of generational purpose is influence. The way your choices will impact those who watch you, learn from you, or follow after you spiritually. Your life becomes a lighthouse. Your testimony becomes a roadmap. Your obedience becomes a blueprint. Many will break out of bondage simply because they witnessed your breakthrough. Many will pursue purpose because they saw you choose calling over comfort. Many will discover God again because they saw you walk with Him faithfully. Your life becomes a sermon long after your voice has fallen silent. And though the assignment is great, the grace on you is greater. You will not carry generational purpose in your own strength. Heaven will empower your steps, guide your decisions, and protect your path. Every seed you plant in this season, every prayer, every act of obedience, every moment of faith will echo through generations in ways you cannot yet imagine. You're not building for today, you're building for tomorrow. You're not being elevated for applause, you're being established for legacy. Chosen one. What this generational mantle is preparing to establish through you will become a story heaven will tell for years to come. Chosen one. As you step into this final movement of the journey, the prophetic sealing of everything spoken over your life begins to take root. This is the moment where heaven gathers every thread of purpose, every sign of breakthrough, every whisper of calling, every shift in timing, and binds them together into a living word that surrounds you, covers you, and activates what has been waiting beneath the surface. This is not the end of a message. This is the ignition of a mantle. A prophetic sealing is when heaven stamps a promise with authority, anchoring it so deeply in your spirit that no storm, no doubt, no delay, and no opposition can uproot it. And chosen one, heaven, is sealing you now, not with fear, not with uncertainty, but with divine certainty that what God has begun in you will not be abandoned halfway. You are stepping into a chapter that carries the weight of fulfillment, the fragrance of destiny, and the rhythm of appointed time. In this sealing, God is closing the wounds that once threatened your confidence, every insecurity formed in childhood, every fear born in disappointment, every lie whispered in weakness. Heaven is shutting those doors. You will not enter your next season carrying the residue of your last. You will not stand before destiny with the voice of past mistakes echoing in your mind. You are being covered with a peace that silences internal warfare, a strength that stabilizes your spirit, and a clarity that dissolves confusion. This sealing is heaven's declaration that you are whole enough, healed enough, and aligned enough to walk forward without shrinking. You were not chosen for fragments, you were chosen for fullness. Chosen one. The prophetic seal also rests on your identity. God is anchoring who you truly are so deeply within you that no environment, no person, and no situation will ever again have the power to redefine you. You are stepping into a season where you will no longer question your worth or negotiate your value. Doubt will not be your language. Fear will not be your reflex. Shame will not be your shadow. You will move with the authority of someone who finally understands they are called, equipped, and appointed. Heaven is sealing your identity so securely that the old versions of you can no longer resurrect themselves when pressure comes. This sealing marks the death of who you used to be and the rise of who you were always meant to become. In this holy convergence, heaven also seals your discernment. You will no longer chase counterfeit opportunities or entertain voices sent to drain your purpose. Something in your spirit has sharpened, something in your awareness has awakened. You will sense misalignment before it enters your life. You will recognize divine timing before it manifests. You will know when to stay and when to move, when to speak, and when to remain silent, when to open a door, and when to let it close. The prophetic seal protects your perception, ensuring that the next steps you take are not reactions to pressure, but responses to revelation. The confusion that once clouded your path will lift, and your decisions will carry the clarity of someone who walks in step with heaven. Chosen one. Heaven is also sealing your capacity. You are being strengthened internally for the responsibilities connected to your calling. What once overwhelmed you will no longer intimidate you. What once stretched you will soon stabilize you. What once felt impossible will become natural. God does not elevate without equipping, and He does not assign without empowering. You are being sealed with resilience, with discipline, with spiritual stamina, with emotional depth, with mental clarity, and with divine courage. These qualities are not temporary boosts, they are permanent upgrades. You are being prepared to carry the weight of destiny without collapsing under the pressure of it. A prophetic seal also rests upon your provision. Heaven is marking the resources, opportunities, connections, and favor that belong to you, so that nothing assigned to your name can be taken by another. What is yours will find you. What is yours will remain with you. What is yours will multiply in your hands. The season of scraping, striving, and stretching thin is giving way to a season of secured supply. God is sealing the flow of provision so that lack loses its authority in your life. You will build from abundance, not survival. You will steward from wisdom, not desperation. You will move from overflow, not scarcity. Chosen one. Heaven is sealing your future. The paths you walk are being cleared of hidden traps. The relationships you enter will be covered with divine protection. The assignments you pursue will carry supernatural backing. You will not walk into rooms unprepared. You will not step into opportunities unprotected. You will not move into seasons unsupported. God goes before you, stands beside you, and covers behind you. Every part of your future is being shielded with the seal of divine orchestration. And finally, heaven seals your spirit with activation. Everything that has been spoken over your life, purpose, calling, breakthrough, wealth, legacy, alignment, is now awakening at once. You are stepping into a convergent season where seeds planted across years begin to sprout together. This activation is a release of momentum that will propel you into destiny with a force you have never felt before. You will think differently, pray differently, walk differently, and see differently. This sealing is not symbolic, it is structural. It is changing the atmosphere around your life and the trajectory ahead of it. Chosen one. The sealing resting upon you now is the divine confirmation that your next chapter has already begun. Chosen one. As we close this sacred moment, let your spirit hold on to what heaven has spoken over you. You are not leaving this message empty-handed. You are leaving with confirmation, with covering, and with a divine commission. The supernatural transfer has already begun. You are standing in your kairos hour, your appointed time for elevation, alignment, and heaven-backed increase. I bless your steps, your decisions, your atmosphere, and your becoming. May clarity lead you, may peace surround you, and may favor follow you into every room God has prepared. You are chosen, you are positioned, and you are rising. If this word awakened something in you, Anointed One, let your agreement be known. Comment, share, or subscribe as an act of faith and alignment. Stay aligned, stay expectant, stay faithful. Your breakthrough isn't approaching, it's unfolding right now.